Vancouver Canucks prospect Vasili Podkolzin, he came into today with only 2 points in his entire 2019-20. If you've been following Podkolzin for the past few weeks, you would have noticed that he has been everywhere. SKA St. Petersburg is the main KHL team that Podkolzin is a part of, and he's been going up and down through their VHL team, their MHL team. He's been going over to SKA Neva St. Petersburg and SKA 1946 St. Petersburg, and he hasn't really found himself a stable home to play hockey in. Now, he spent the most time in the KHL. 10 games played, 0 points, it's a -1. He averages such a little amount of time on ice per game. We already covered that in a dual video with Niels Hoglander a week ago. But Vasili Podkolzin, after getting a point in the VHL and a point in the MHL, came into today's MHL game with the SKA 1946 St. Petersburg and totally showed off why he was a top prospect in the 2019 NHL Entry Draft. Podkolzin came into this game and he got himself 3 assists, which doubles the amount of points he's had this year thus far. Podkolzin's first assist of the game came on a really nice little give and go play. The SKA St. Petersburg players have it on the right side in the offensive zone. It's drop passed over to Podkolzin, who cuts into the middle. He feeds the man in front, who walks in with a shot on goal, and it's in. Podkolzin with his first assist of the night, his second MHL assist on the year, and 3rd overall point this season. It's all pretty good. On this play, Podkolzin was displaying just a little bit of a nice little pass reception there. Obviously, the MHL isn't the best league when it comes to the level of competition and the compete level. Podkolzin honestly is one of the hardest working players in that entire league because of just how he is. So it was really nice to see him exhibit those playmaking skills. I don't want to say Podkolzin is an amazing playmaker, but he was able to get a nice little drop pass and send it over to the guy right back in front. However, it was Vasili Podkolzin's second assist of the game that really got Canucks Nation all up on their feet. I can't use the clip here because it's copyrighted material and I don't want to get copyright stricken, but Podkolzin kind of does a little bit of the same thing. He's near the right side of the goal line in the offensive zone, and the puck is over at the blue line. It gets sent back in deep, and Podkolzin picks it up. He cuts into the middle, and then as he cuts into the middle, he sees the defender, who's kneeling, trying to block a potential passing lane. Podkolzin sees this, and then he stops at the high slot, and cuts back the direction that he was coming from, and streaks in on net. Now the defenders immediately take notice of this. They go after Podkolzin, but Podkolzin, he kind of does a little bit of the Quinn Hughes, and he goes around the net instead. The goalie leaves his crease because he thinks Podkolzin is in for a shot, and Podkolzin circles out into the front, throws it into the slot, and it's a nice goal. Obviously, again, it's the level of competition. The MHL players didn't really exhibit the best work ethic in the defensive zone in order to stop that chance, but still, Podkolzin getting those opportunities and Podkolzin being really offensively capable in this league is definitely better to see than to not see. This was a beautiful play, and if you can watch the clip, I'll leave the full link in the description to this entire game on YouTube, by the way, because the MHL does live stream all of their games online, which is awesome. And it's completely legal too, because it's on YouTube and their official YouTube channel. But Podkolzin's little stop on a dime and his little explosion of speed to get through the few defenders was absolutely beautiful, and I'm not going to say that that will translate entirely to the NHL, but, you know, you never know. You never know. It's always better to see these things than to not see them. So let's go over onto Podkolzin's 3rd and final point on the night. It's his 3rd assist and his 5th total point on the year. This one was a beautiful play as well. However, I didn't see people freaking out about this one on Twitter like I saw with his 2nd assist from earlier today. This one was really nice because it showcases a few of the skills that Podkolzin really has over the other 2019 drafted players. So, it's broken up by the opponents. They send out a centering pass into the neutral zone, and their guy takes the puck, dashes across the red line, but Podkolzin at the blue line, he gets his stick involved, and he steals the puck from the opposition. Podkolzin with the nice little steal, he sends it forward to the left winger on front, and then as he brings it into the zone, it's centered back over to Podkolzin for a quick 2-on-1. Podkolzin goes cross-crease to the open man on the right side for a beautiful setup by SKA 1946 St. Petersburg. That one was all demonstrated by Vasili Podkolzin and his offensive awareness. Steals the puck, chips the puck forward, goes in on the rush, receives the pass, and goes cross-crease for the goal. That was a great play by Podkolzin. In fact, I think it was more impressive than his second assist. His second assist was more him dangling around guys that weren't really moving, and this one was more actual offensive awareness that you could probably see translate into a real NHL game sooner rather than later. So Podkolzin, he's getting up there on the boards now, and he's gotten himself a few more points. It's awesome to see, and now we're just gonna have to wait to see what happens with the KHL, because he got sent down to the MHL so he can actually play games. He's been everywhere, and I don't think he's going to have a stable home throughout this season, just judging by the way things have gone so far. He's been on the VHL team, the MHL, and the KHL, and it doesn't look like his movement is gonna stop anytime soon. But wherever he is, I hope he displays these great offensive instincts that he has. And on top of the work ethic, the defensive pressure, all that stuff, which we know and love from Podkolzin already, I think we're really shaping up to seeing a great player come into our system long term. However, let's go on to another prospect for the Vancouver Canucks. This is on the complete other side of the world. Carson Focht, ladies and gentlemen. Vancouver Canucks prospect drafted in the 5th round of the 2019 draft. A player who a lot of people didn't necessarily see the value in because he was an overager and because he was a guy who was drafted out of the WHL. Carson Focht had himself a game last night for the Hitmen once more in the WHL. He had 3 points last night, and it's not really 3 points, it's more like 2 goals and 1 assist, but the assist was kind of uncredited, so we will go over Carson Focht and his 2 guaranteed and potentially 3 points here in this video as well. Again, no footage, I don't want to get sued by the WHL, but let's just go over his quick points over here. First off, we have ourselves an assist that didn't actually count as an assist because it was a tipped shot in front and the defenseman and the left guy got the assists. The Hitmen are on the power play, and they're cycling things on their umbrella. Focht is the man in the Elias Pettersson spot, so right away, if you're a Canucks fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He's on that right side, and he sends the puck back over to the high point man. A little give and go ensues with the guy on the Brock Besser spot, to which the point man once more has it, takes a shot, and it's in. Carson Focht got no assist on that because it was tipped in front. However, he gets himself an assist on the next goal that actually doesn't count. The way things go, Carson Focht has the puck, he brings it in forward. It's also on the power play, by the way. He ends up receiving the puck at the far right side in the zone, in the Elias Pettersson spot once more. Focht and the defenseman in the high slot, that is Igor Zamula, they do a little bit of a give and go. Then Zamula, at the high slot, sends it over to James Malm on the left side. Malm has it, he walks in, he takes a shot, and he scores. So that should have been an assist to Igor Zamula with the primary assist and Carson Focht as the secondary assist. However, going to the legit box score, it says that James Malm got the goal, assisted by Riley Stotts and Igor Zamula. Zamula has the secondary assist here, which is weird, because that's not actually what happened. That was a problem on the scoring over here, but that was a legitimate Carson Focht assist. But then Carson Focht goes over and he gets himself 2 goals to finish off the game. First off, it's the goal to tie the game up 3-3. This one is Focht here, he's dashing in on the right side, the play is up ahead of him. The pass comes over back to Focht as he cuts into the middle, he takes a shot and it's in. Beautiful, nice stride work over there by Carson Focht to tie the game. And then, in overtime, it's Carson Focht once more, who walks in with a drag move to get by the defender, takes a nice shot, and it's in the net. Overall, a great performance by Carson Focht and Vasili Podkolzin. Podkolzin from today, Focht from yesterday, and the Vancouver Canucks prospect faithful is looking great. Hope you enjoyed this quick little recap. Social 9, and bye.